Yo, it's Trivelli. I'm back, and after a very successful week 0 of betting on college football, we are back with the week 1 college football predictions on these lines. I'm going to be giving you my 4 favorite lines from this week that I think that we could take advantage of and make some real cash. So if you can, please like, comment, and subscribe so we get this channel out to as many people as possible. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter. That way you get my daily notifications for when I'm dropping videos, which is going to be Monday through Friday because I'm never slacking. Now, let's jump into the action.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little glimpse.
So I want to give a quick shout out to collegefootballnews.com for a lot of the info on the players and details on the stats. And these lines, we're getting them from the Pick Center on ESPN.com, where we can look at all the lines at once and then dive into the ones that we like. So let's start with the first game here. We're going to go with Duke versus Charlotte. You have the Duke Blue Devils out of the ACC taking on Charlotte from Conference USA, where Duke is going to be a 6.5 point favorite on the road. And I want to give a quick breakdown of this game and why I believe that this is such an easy line to predict. You've got 6'3" junior Gunnar Holmberg coming in to step up and take over for Chase Bryce, who transferred to Appalachian State. This was an offensive line that was one of the worst in the country for allowing sacks, but 3 starters are going to return, so most of that depth is coming back. You have a great running back coming back. Mateo Durant Sr. should be able to run all over Charlotte once again. Last year, these teams did match up. Charlotte got blown out 53-19. So has that much changed in a year in Charlotte's favor? I'm going to guess not. So I'm going to argue that Duke is the team that will be much better after the defense has another year to grow. With a new QB and a fresh start, give me Duke by at least 10. The talent gap is too large, and I just do not see Duke crapping the bed here on the road versus Charlotte. So if anything, give me Duke minus 6.5. Now we've got Liberty minus 22 over Campbell. Liberty with a huge talent gap across the board here. This is really about just the spread that they set up being only minus 22. I mean, you have almost everybody coming back for Liberty, where Hugh Freeze's offense was incredible. They averaged 483 yards and 38 points per game, and that's with a couple battles versus the ACC as well. So the amount of talent that they have seen and perform against, this is nothing close. Campbell is not going to be putting any players on the field versus Liberty that they will struggle with, and that's no offense to Campbell. Obviously, if you are a Campbell football fan, you're going to take offense, but this is all about Liberty here. It all starts with one of the best dual threat playmakers in the nation. He's a high riser in the NFL draft circle, Malik Willis, and I think he's dangerous enough to literally beat that spread by himself. So they'll work behind an incredible veteran offensive line. All 5 starters are expected to be back. The rushing attack was incredible as well, and the defense finished 11th in the nation overall with 16th in scoring D. So it's not like they're not going to be able to completely dominate Campbell. I could see this being a 21-point spread by the end of the first quarter, and as long as Liberty keeps their foot on the gas, this is a very easy spread to predict. Middle Tennessee State versus Monmouth is the next game, where you have Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders, a 7.5 point favorite versus, once again, not a D1 team. Yeah, I like taking these games where you have an FBS team that's well known versus basically an FCS team, and you're gonna have some of these FBS teams that looked atrocious last year. That's gonna give them a very small line because, you know, basically the college football betting lines, they don't understand what's gonna happen in this first game. Well, I do, because I actually watch a lot of Conference USA football. Now, Middle Tennessee State was atrocious last year from a defensive standpoint, giving up monster numbers to pretty much everyone who played them. The passing game did develop because they were behind so much they had to throw the ball. So they got better throwing the ball. Now, with O'Hara being gone, their old quarterback, they do bring back 7 of 8 receivers and an NC State transfer quarterback to help that QB room. It should be enough. I think that they will be talented enough to move the ball against Monmouth, and this line is just an obvious disrespect. I expect Middle Tennessee State to easily handle Monmouth by at least 10, and that also comes because of their defense, where they have veterans like Reed Blankenship, who's a tackling machine. The safety is a superstar. He could honestly be playing on Sundays next year 100%. And with Blankenship coming in with Greg Great, some other good corners, the secondary should be a plus, and I see them having no problem winning by at least 10 plus. Go ahead and take Middle Tennessee State University. And then finally, I have UCF. Even with this increased line moving to -5, I still have UCF beating Boise State by at least 10 to 14 points. When you have Dylan Gabriel plus 5 returning starters on the offensive line and a Virginia transfer who is extremely explosive in RJ Harvey, I mean, UCF is about to put up points this year. The D loses top sacker Kenny Turnier to TCU, and they also lost Randy Charlton to Mississippi State. However, former Auburn Tiger Big Cat Bryant is expected to come in, along with solid interior pass rusher Ricky Barber from Western Kentucky, throw them into the rotation with 4 starters up front from the bowl game loss to BYU, and there should be quick improvement. New coach Andy Avalos also comes from Oregon for Boise, so that's a lot of big shoes to fill with some of those previous head coaches having extreme success at Boise State. I expect nothing different for Andy Avalos, just not in the first game. You have your QB back from last year, 4 or 5 O-linemen are back, and you have some great linebackers on defense, but I seriously think Gabriel is a top 10 quarterback in college football. This guy is going to be able to dice up Boise from any standpoint, and honestly, this should be a very, very good game at a sold-out bounce house in Orlando. If UCF wins by anywhere less than 10, I would be extremely surprised. That is why I'm telling you to take UCF versus Boise. So I'll go over this one more time. Please take Duke minus 6.5 versus Charlotte, Liberty minus 22 over Campbell, Middle Tennessee State minus 7.5 versus Monmouth, and UCF minus 5 versus Boise State. If you take these 4, you should be golden. And remember, we went 75% last week, 3 for 4, with the only disappointment coming from Hawaii, where Siobhan Cordero and that offense was just not able to move the ball versus UCLA. But when you go 3 for 4, you really can't complain because you're in the profit. So I hope you guys take home some profit again this week. Last week's video was such a success that we'll continue keeping this series going, and I hope you guys win monster cash this week. Have a great day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.
I'm living life like this. Maybe give a little glimpse, maybe give a little